Here is my Hackintosh, and today we'll take an in-depth look at it. But before we'll do that, a quick story why it is actually here. Now that all started with the unsupport of my iMac 2010. Earlier this year I made a video on how great it is, but Apple got the amazing idea to unsupport it with OS 10, so no more Mac updates for it. And after all, it's an older machine, and the hard drive in it really dragged it down. And I talked a lot about upgrading it with an SSD. But when this unsupport came around, I was really thinking, should I really upgrade it still? Or should I just get a new Mac? But then I looked at my bank account, and I was like, no, I don't feel like spending so much money for a computer again. Because Macs are expensive, even used. So the only ones I could have afforded were 2011 models, 2012. Those were in my budget. Even still more expensive than I paid for this, but still way more expensive. But then I got the idea. There's no way around it. I need OS 10. I want Final Cut Pro 10. It's one of my favorite programs and a great video editing program. Very easy. So I need OS 10. But I can, build my own Mac and save a lot of money. So I did that. And this is here my first Hackintosh, which is actually supposed to be a Hackintosh. No, not just a random PC, trying Hackintosh in it. No, this was planned. And because of that, I was not sure if I should really spend all that much money, since I was still skeptical. I didn't have the greatest experiences with Hackintoshes in the past. So I was like, we're gonna go easy on it and start off with a Core i3, and I will tell you all the specs from there when we take a look at it. But it was a huge success. It was first of all a budget machine, $250. Yes, I still had some stuff at home, so I didn't pay for case and other stuff, but I got it for so cheap, and the performance it brings for the money, it is absolutely stunning. So I run the latest Mac version. I have this 1080p Samsung monitor. Yes, I kind of downgraded in the screen, since the iMac has the amazing 27-inch screen, and this is only 1080p 1920 by 1080. However, yeah, it's not a big deal to me. So yeah, this is the little story. It is a work machine. It's not one of my random projects. This is supposed to be working and should work. Now, it had one problem. No, actually two problems. The install went smooth, absolutely smooth, no problems at all. You can watch the video. All worked out of the box, except one thing. The sensors. Non-tech guys don't give a shit about sensors, but I do. I want to know how hot the CPU goes and everything, maybe also the temperature of the hard drive and so on. And this didn't work, so I had to research a bit. Great website, by the way, hackintosher.com. That's where I got the guide from this whole Hackintosh, and they wrote out an article how to fix that. You need to download fake SMCs and put them in the text folder of the Clover configurator. Not the Clover configurator, the EFI folder in the Clover folder in the text files. And there you will put it in, and I was a little scared. I was really scared because I was just so used to it, fucking something up with his texts. But it worked. Before it was showing some weird degrees, like minus something and 0 degrees. But now everything's working, and that was the first issue. And the second issue I had with it, that is still not sure why that was, but it froze. I was just approaching it randomly. It was exporting a video, and it froze up. I couldn't move the mouse, I couldn't do anything. I had to hard shut it down. Not even the reset switch worked. And yes, I wired it up correctly, I'm totally sure, but it didn't work. Maybe it's not in all the way or something, but I'm pretty sure that I put it at the right pin. Anyway, So I had to hard shut it down. I was like, oh god, shit, that is not good. I really want a reliable system, you know? But in fact, it only happened to me once, and I have no idea what caused it. It could have been the internet something, because I turned off my main PC, which supplies the internet to this, so maybe that wasn't such a good idea. Could have been a sleep-wake thing, because it was done exporting. It was just sitting at Final Cut and doing nothing, idling around. So maybe that was a problem. But I booted it up again, and after the boot up process, nothing really went wrong. It resumed to where I left it, and it even exported the video. So I don't know, guys. Maybe you can tell me. It's only happened to me once, and like I've used this a lot in the last days and weeks. I've used this really a lot, and it only happened once. So I will not bother with it. So here's the complete setup. Still a lot of room for improvement. First of all, these speakers need to go away. So like the first thing I will buy. Those suck ass, but what can you do? Then we got the keyboard, which is an Apple Pro keyboard. I used to have this aluminium keyboard, but it will not work with this Hackintosh. I don't know what caused it not to work. It even worked in the beginning. It randomly stopped working. I don't know. I didn't want to fiddle around with any like configuration files or something, so I'm just using that. But I will eventually replace that with another aluminium keyboard, because this is really worn out and it's not nice to type on, and it's old. So Microsoft mouse, that's gonna stay, and a webcam for, you know, microphone and webcam. Card reader for my SD card, hooked up via USB 3, and that's pretty much it. It's all in this slim form factor case from Silverstone. I really like this case. It's space saving. I've got the entire PC in here, and yep. So here are the specifications. Just to get it started, we got internally, it thinks it's a 5K iMac from 2015. That's because the processor is a Core i3, 8 gigabytes of RAM, DDR4, 2666 megahertz, and an integrated graphics card, HD Graphics 530, which are surprisingly good. I never thought I'd say that from HD Graphics, but they are as good as the dedicated GPU from my iMac, so these have really come a long way. Alright, in terms of connectivity, sorry for this mess by the way, we have PS2. Yep, nobody will use this ever. VGA, HDMI, DVI, USB 2 and 3, it's a whole lot of USB ports there, a LAN and audio. No USB-C, nothing fancy here, but totally enough for me. We get room for expansion even, for low profile PCIs and even a full-size PCI, and a power. And on the front, all we have is two USB 3s, which come in very handy, and a headphone jack and microphone port. Here we got the power button, the reset button, and the LEDs for the hard drive and power. And of course the Silverstone logo. And this is where the optical drive should be. However, I do not have one in there, so that will stay as is. Also, a cool little design from this case is that they cut out this vent here, and so the hot air from the CPU can directly just go out of here and doesn't have to like eject from here or there somewhere. And also on the side, this is like a whole vent, so this doesn't run so hot than you think it would. On this side also a little vent. Pretty cool little case. So now let's take a look at the inside of this machine. Now in order to open this up, you have to unscrew screws here and here. And now all you do is you slide this a little forward, and then it comes right off. At least it should. But this is a little damaged, so it doesn't work so perfectly, but as you can see, it came off. Now we're inside the PC, and here you see this bar going across the case. That's because it's holding it together, so it increases the stability, it doesn't flap around. That's a good design. And let's start here with the mainboard, which is a very cute little micro ATX mainboard. And this is a Gigabyte GAH110MS2H. Yep, very precise information. It is a very good board for Hackintoshing because all the chipsets work out of the box and you don't have to worry about kexts. So even though it's pretty basic and small and cute, it works pretty darn good as a Hackintosh. Now all we have here is a PCI Express card, so you could upgrade this with a dedicated graphics card. I might do that in future, and now you say, oh, you would need either a low profile or extension card. And I do even have the extension card, so I could put the graphics card sort of over the processor. Maybe not the most ideal solution, but I think it's the only way we can do this in that case. But that is to wait anyway for a couple of months. That depends on how happy I am with the HD graphics. Now, then we get here two PCIe's and a whole lot of pins which I can't use. For example, we get here front USB, even two. I'm only using here front audio. Then we get USB 3 over there. And the SATA ports, in total 4, and I'm using 2. And yeah, processor power is here, mainboard power is here, and here for the I/O here. CMOS battery, and the most important thing of this, the processor, socket LGA 1151. I'm not sure if you could put in like really the latest processors. Probably. Might need a BIOS update or something. Probably you can, but you can put in here 6th and 7th generation without any problems. And I've got in here a Core i3 6900 dual core processor, 4 threads, and it runs at 3.7 gigahertz. It is a nice little processor. I bought it used for $85, and I went with a Core i3 just to get it started and to keep the price down, since Core i5s, they just are way more expensive. Now it would be really cool to have a quad core because I now only have a dual core. However, to kick this Hackintosh project off, I thought the Core i3 is a really nice way to go. Now we got here a stock Intel cooler. How is that? Well, if you watch the build video, you will know that the guy who sold me the processor did not send me a plate to screw in his cooler. He had a different cooler. Not the best idea to send that, but we got here out the cooler from my main PC's CPU, and it fit. It has the same design here. You twist this and oh, I didn't even do that. That is so me. Oh my god. Now god, that was embarrassing. Anyway, I don't cut out my fails. I've never mounted a stock Intel cooler ever. That was the first time I ever did that, so sorry. But it held so good, and it clipped in so nice. So it's not like the processor got too hot or anything. It cooled pretty well. Now, this is this design here from Intel. You just clip it down and then you turn it apparently. And yep, people hate on this CPU fan because it's loud. Now, yes, it isn't the most quiet. I found that out. When it's running at full speed or heavy load, it really ramps up and you can definitely hear it. So I'm planning on replacing this with a Noctua cooler, a low profile cooler. It should even be more like low than this or the same height. That's very important because we're dealing here, after all, with a low profile case, and so we need to get the lowest things in there possible. So maybe there's even still space for a GPU, like a server workstation GPU or something like that. Then we got here the RAM. 2 RAM sticks, only 2 RAM slots because it's a cheap mainboard. Two 4GB, in total 8GB DDR4. It's from Ballistics. That's a company from Crucial, or maybe it's just a brand from Crucial. I don't know. I got the RAM pretty cheap. It's new, even though I got it used, but it was never opened. So yep, it's new to me. And it's 8GB. Now, I first thought he would only send me like one 8GB stick, but it turned out to be 2 4s. So if I would ever need an upgrade, I have to sell one and replace it, but it's not gonna happen anytime soon. So 8GB, that's fine for now, and it probably will stay like that for a little while. So yep, that's that. So that's really all to say. Nothing too exciting about the main board. It's pretty basic, but also great for Hackintosh. Now I apologize for the cable management. You know that I don't give a but this, so I just jam the cables all in there. I also do this not just because I'm lazy, because I also work on my machines a lot, and so if I just tuck away everything nice and then I, maybe upgrade the hard drive or something, I have to do it all over again, so I just don't do it at all, or I don't have to fiddle around with it too much. That's the real reason. Actually, it's a work machine. It's not there to look nice, especially not from the inside, since nobody looks inside here. It just needs to work. Let's get to storage. This is the boot drive where the operating system is on. A Crucial 120GB SSD. I don't know about its speed. It is fast. It is an SSD, so it must be fast. And yep, that's a boot drive. And the storage is here just a regular 1TB Western Digital hard drive. And that's enough for me. I don't do any data storage on here. This is purely a scratch disk, so all the stuff that's been edited and the clips and stuff, they all go back to my main PC where I have enough storage. So this is only a scratch disk, but I need it since 120 gigs is just not cutting it. But Final Cut, get it. Anyway, this is perfect for me. Also, the speed is fine. Sure, it's not a high performance or server grade drive or anything, but it's not that I need that really. It's more than enough for me. So that leaves our last component right here. That is the power supply, which is a thermal take power supply, 500 watts. Usually I'm a Corsair guy when it comes to power supplies. When somebody builds a PC, or I build usually a PC, I always say go with Corsair. No, I'm not a fanboy, I'm not sponsored. I just had good experience with Corsair, but I was on a budget, and this guy had a pretty good review on Amazon, so I took this, and it's 500 watts. It's like more than I'll ever need in this system, a little overkill even. And if you want to know any specific part number, it's a thermal take TR2S 500 watts. There you go. No, it's not modular, and that's what causes all of this madness. But do you really need modular power supplies? I mean, really, who needs that? It's only for the eye. It's only for cosmetic. It's only for beauty. It's not really for professionality. Except you maybe got so many freaking cables in your PC that you just are desperately looking for some that you can get rid of. But anyway. A little fun fact, here is one LED. This strip here is an LED, and it lights up. Only one color though. You don't want to overdo it. Overall, I can say I'm pretty happy with my Hackintosh. It definitely took the place of the iMac. It's faster and it's more up to date, and it's just quicker in Final Cut and everything because it's got the SSD, and it's just nicer to use. And I can upgrade whatever I want. If I need a faster processor, I can put it in. If I need a GPU, I can put it in. If I like want a different, for whatever reason, hard drive, I can put it in. I can swap out anything. And that's the joy when you have a PC. Now, kind of sad because it replaces once again a Mac, just like on my main PC that also replaced the iMac. So the iMac kind of gets replaced the second time. Sad but true. Anyway, I'm pretty happy with it. Yeah, this is my Hackintosh. I hope you like it. I surely do. I also enjoy that it's a low profile PC, not another tower taking up my place. So, thank you for watching. And if you have any more requests or questions, or if I told something wrong, just write it in the comments and I will see you in the next video.